Hello, and welcome to Bottoms Down, Chair Yoga for Everyone, the Slow and Short series. I'm Carol. I'm so glad you've joined us today. In this series, we'll move our bodies a little more slowly, and the classes will be shorter. If you haven't already, please click the subscribe button. Don't forget it's free, and we'd love to hear from you, so leave a comment. In today's practice, we'll explore poses to reset for the new year. It's a great time to reset our mind and body and breathe into the new year, getting ready for all of its possibilities. You'll only need a chair for today's class, and let's get started. So we're going to take a moment to ground our feet to the floor, and then ground your sits bones to the chair. So all that means is I want you to feel your feet on the floor and not leaning one way or the other. Let's go ahead and take a moment to close our eyes. And if you don't want to close your eyes, that's fine. Maybe you just simply look down at the floor, but not looking down with your head, just look down with your eyes. I call that softening the eyes. Just feel your breath, just your natural inhalation and exhalation. Maybe you make that breath a little deeper, inhaling a little more deeply and exhaling a little more completely. Bring your hands to your heart and set your intentions for today's practice. One more breath. Bring your hands back down to your thighs and open your eyes. And let's roll our shoulders up, back, and down. Let's do that again. So it's just a little exaggerated shoulder roll. And now let's reverse that. That should feel good. And do one more. Excellent. Okay, let's go ahead and just bring those shoulders down. So now we're going to reach back and grab the back of the chair. All right? Let your right ear fall towards your right shoulder and just feel that stretch in the side of the neck. All right, let's go ahead and lift up, and we're going to go to the other side. Go ahead and lift your head. Now we're going to tuck our chin and just look down at our lap. Look up and release. How did that feel? Let's do those shoulder rolls again just for the fun of it. What do you think? And reverse. Okay, so we're going to move into a pose. It's a cat and cow series. So the first thing we're going to do is bring our hands to our heart. Think about lifting through the spine. So crown of the head to the ceiling, and let's open into the throat just a little bit. See how that feels. Your abdominals need to be really, really tight here. Okay, so the first thing we'll do is move into cow pose. So all we'll do is we're going to take our hands, open them wide, reach back, and grab the back of that chair, if that works for you. If that doesn't feel good, you're just going to have your hands out. So we're lifting up into cow pose. Then we're going to round our spine, place our hands on our thighs, tuck the chin, look down at your lap into cat pose. And we're going to do that again. We're going to lift up into cow, grabbing the back of the chair, taking a deep breath in here, and then round into cat and exhale. One more time. We're going to lift up into our cow pose. That's our inhale. And then exhale, rounding into cat pose. And release. Very, very good. Moving on into extended mountain pose. We're going to take our hands towards the ceiling, but our shoulders are staying down. Belly is tight. Place your palms together, interlace your fingers, point your fingers to the ceiling. Do you see that, what I did there? Lean to the right. Coming up, lean to the left. Coming up. Let's release just for a moment. Keep your fingers interlaced and that pointer finger up. Okay, we're going to add a twist to that. We're going to take our hands to the ceiling. We're going to lean to the left, and then we're going to look up at the ceiling. Just a little twist. Feel your side waist working. You feel it? Take the twist out. Fingers to the ceiling, other way. Twist and look up at the ceiling. Take the twist out. Back to the ceiling with those hands and bring them down. Very good. Let's grab a sip of water. So we're going to take our hands and interlace your fingers. Now, take your palms, press them out and forward. So as you do this, make sure you have your belly button to your spine. You want to keep those abdominal muscles nice and tight. How does that feel? Does that feel okay? Let's go ahead and bring that in and release it. And we're going to do that same thing one more time. And then we're going to take those hands and take them up towards the ceiling. All right, so we'll go out first and then up. Okay, so let's try it. Here we go. My palms are here. I'm going to press them out and away. Now I'm going to take those palms up to the ceiling. Checking in, see how that feels. All right, one more breath. Let's bring those hands down and take a little break. Okay, so the final piece of that is we're going to add a little bit of a lean. Okay, are we ready? Here we go. Press the palms out. Take them up to the ceiling. Now you can leave your elbows bent. It's fine, okay? Let's lean one way. Let's come up, and we're going to lean the other way. And let's come up and bring those hands down. Okay, so now I want you to look and see which of your pinky fingers is on bottom. And I want you to interlace your fingers the other way. It'll feel funny. It's good for us though, right? Okay, are we ready? We're going to do that same series, and we're not going to stop this time. So here we go. Palms pressing out. Shoulders are down, belly is tight. Palms to the ceiling. Bend your elbows if you want, it's fine. Let's lean. Up we go. Let's lean the other way. Up we go. Go ahead and bring those hands down into your lap. How did that feel? Quite a stretch. You don't think it would be that much. It's quite a stretch, isn't it? Okay, we're going to interlace those fingers one more time. Do it the way you like. You don't have to do it that other way. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my elbow down. You see how my wrist is bending? Then I'm going to just kind of make a little rotation there. And then I'm going to do it back the other way. So it's really just a little bit of wrist stretching. Doesn't matter. You don't feel like you've got to do it one specific way. Just wanting to try to get a little bit of stretching into those wrists. Okay, let's release that and bring our hands back down to our side. Okay, so now I want you to take your arms by your side. You're going to feel the weight of your hands pulling your shoulders down. Make a small fist. I say small, and what I mean by that is I don't want you to squeeze it, right? So a light, that's probably a better word. Make a light fist. Now, you're going to rotate your wrist in towards your legs. Then they're going to come down, the hands are down towards the floor, and then you're going to rotate your wrists away from your body. Bring the hands back down. Let's do that again. Rotate towards the body and down and away from the body and down. Last time. Here we go. You got it. Very, very good. Go ahead and release that. Take just a moment. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bring our arms out in front of us. Make that little fist again, and then we're just simply going to rotate. So at the same direction, you're going to take those wrists and rotate. You see what I'm doing there? Just making a circle with those wrists. And then let's reverse it. One more. Beautiful. And let's bring our hands down and moving on to the next pose is eagle arms, okay? So we're going to take our right arm and we're going to extend it out. That palm is facing in. You got it? Bring that arm across your body. Your other elbow, so you've kind of got your elbows in alignment with one another. Bring that other arm up and just give it a little bit of a stretch. You should be feeling a stretch right at the top of that shoulder. Good. All right, let's go ahead and release that. Bring that hand down. And let's go to the other side. So I'm going to extend that right arm nice and long. Bring it across your body. Now, the other hand, you see where I'm kind of elbow to elbow here? This palm is facing up. You're going to bring that arm in. Does that kind of make sense? Do you see what I'm doing there? I'm pulling in. You should feel a good stretch right up there, the top of that shoulder. One more breath here and release. Now, we're going to come up, just have your forearms parallel to one another. We're going to turn to the right. Come in center. And then we're going to turn to the other side. Come back center. Bring your hands down. Okay, the final thing here, we're going to take our hand and press that palm back. And what I mean by final, it's just with the wrists and the arms. We're going to be doing some other things next. We're going to bend that elbow and put that hand right behind your back. Do you feel the stretch? Let's do the other side. So this arm extends out. Your palm goes back, facing back behind you. Bend your elbow and place that arm behind you. Lift and squeeze your shoulder blades behind. How does that feel? Does that feel okay? One more breath and release. Let's grab a sip of water. We're going to come to a standing position behind our chair. So we're going to take our hands, interlace the fingers behind your back, okay? Do you see what I've done there? I've interlaced my fingers and it's just behind my back. Now, from here, I want you to push your knuckles down towards the floor. Do you see what's happening? Is my chest is opening. So we're just breathing, just nice deep breaths. One more breath here. And let's release that and take just a moment before we add on. Okay? Let's do that again. Interlace your fingers, push the knuckles down towards the floor, open up into the heart. And release. Okay. Now we're going to bring both of our arms open wide. Palms are facing forward. You're going to bring your arms across, hug yourself. Lift your elbows. Now, if this works for you, you're going to look up as you lift your elbows a little bit higher. And then you're going to bring those elbows back down. Let's do that again. Can we add the breath? We're going to inhale. We're going to lift those elbows up as we look up. And exhale, we're going to bring those elbows back down and release. How did that feel? So one thing to notice is which arm, when you crossed, which arm was on top, because now we're going to do it again, and let's have that other arm on top. Open, cross and hug yourself. Inhale as you lift those arms up. The elbows are coming up. See if you can look up towards the ceiling, if that feels okay for you. If not, you're just looking out. Bring those arms back down. All right, let's do that again, adding the breath. Inhale as we go up. Exhale as we come down. One more time. Inhale up. And exhale down. Beautiful. And release. We're going to move to the side of our chair. And then we're facing the seat of the chair. Okay? Hold on. That's fine. Now, you know what? I'm going to change my mind on this. I want us to do one from behind the chair first and see how that feels. Then we're going to move to the side of our chair. Okay? So let's move back to the back of our chair again. My hands are on the chair here, and we're going to take a step back. So my arms are very long, but they're still on the chair. Okay, are we ready? Pull your belly in. We're going to let that heart fall forward. We've got the support of that chair. This is a forward fold. All right, now bend your knees, roll up to a standing position. See, did that feel okay on your back? Let's do that again. Inhale, extend the spine long. Exhale, forward fold. Let's bend our knees and roll up. Okay, so that is a great version of a forward fold. And if you want to stick with that version, stay behind your chair and continue doing that version. If you're with me, we're going to come to the side of our chair and we're going to face the seat of the chair. Okay? Take a little step back because you're going to want some space. We're going to hinge forward and we're going to place our hands in the seat of the chair. Bring your weight forward. Okay? How does that feel? We just have one more breath here. Let's go ahead and come back and roll it back up. Now, if you're behind the chair, you're doing the same thing. You just have your hands on the back of the chair instead of the seat. Okay, so now we're going to do that again. And I will tell you, if you begin to have issues with your wrists, you can be on your fists. You can keep the wrists straight. The other thing is you can come onto your forearms. So I'm going to show you all of those options and you pick which one you prefer. Okay? We're hinging. We're coming forward. We're going to place our palms in the chair and bring our weight forward. Or you're going to have your hands in a fist with your weight forward. Or you're going to have your forearms on the chair. You've got three options there. All three are great. Okay. Whichever option you have, you're going to look down at your chair. Then take your right hand, lift it off the chair and touch your chest. Place that hand back on the mat on the chair. Lift your other hand and reach up and touch your chest. Place that hand back on the chair, bend your knees, and roll it up nice and slow. How did that feel? So that was a forward fold with a downward facing puppy. How fun is that, right? Let's come back to seated. And grab a sip of water. We're going to do some elbow circles. Place your fingertips on your shoulders. Inhale and send those elbows up and forward. See if you can bring them together so that they kiss each other. Now we're going to take those elbows up towards the ceiling. So you should feel a nice stretch, right? You feel that? Yeah. All right, now bring your elbows back behind. It's like you're pinching a pencil between your shoulder blades. And then you're going to let your elbows fall to the floor. So this is just like feeling the weight of the elbows onto the tops of those shoulders. Do you feel that? Let's nod our head yes. Shake our head no. And nod our head yes. All right, let's go ahead and release that. Just take a moment. And then we're going to reverse it. Okay? All right, here we go. Let's place those hands right on those elbows. Now we're going to bring them back. Let's squeeze those shoulder blades behind you. And take them up towards the ceiling. Then you're going to bring them forward and try to touch them together. Don't worry if the elbows don't touch. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Just give that a go, right? And then let those elbows fall down. You're holding on to the shoulders. Let's nod our head yes. And shake our head no. And nod our head yes. Can we do that one more time in each direction? Let's do it. Up we go. Touch them together. Elbows to the ceiling. Bring them out to the side. Squeeze your shoulder blades behind you. Down they go. And reverse it. Squeeze the shoulder blades behind. Up they go to the ceiling. Forward. Touch. And down. Let's do one more nod. Head nod yes. And head shake no. And release. How'd that feel? Right? Kind of good there on the shoulders. Okay, so now we'll do staff pose. And this looks like a very, very simple pose, and it is simple, but you can make as much out of it as you want. So as we sit, we call this grounding our sits bones to the chair. So we did this at the beginning too. So feeling your weight equally weighted on the chair. Place your hands under your arms and lift up through the chest. The crown of the head is towards the ceiling. So your belly is tight, you're lifting up. Now, you're going to let go with your hands. Try to maintain that lifted sensation. Place your hands on the chair, maintaining that extended lift. Do you feel that? One more breath and release. Ooh, how'd that feel? Can we do that again? I like it. Let's do it again. All right, so grounding our sits bones. Let's place those hands under our arms. Lift, belly tight, crown of the head to the ceiling. Let's place those fingertips on the chair, maintaining that lifted sternum, working it, working it, working it, and release. See what I mean? You can get as much out of that particular pose as you want, or you can just kind of hang out. Either is doable, but preferable to maintain that lifted sternum. So now we're going to do a little bit of a twist here. So it's super gentle. It should be okay on your back. We're just going to take our hand and we're going to place it on the opposite knee. The other hand is going to come back to our chair, and we're going to lengthen nice and long through the spine. Pull that shoulder back, turn and look. One more breath, and we're going to face forward. We'll do that on the other side, and then we're going to repeat it, okay? So this hand is going to come to the outside of that opposite knee. Other hand is back by the chair, on the seat of the chair, if that extending through the spine. Bring this shoulder back, then turn and look over that shoulder. One more breath and release. You can keep doing that version if you wish. If you want a little bit more, I'm going to cross my leg over. So my left leg is on top of my right. My left hand is going to come to the outside of that leg. The other hand is back on the chair behind me. Lengthen through the spine. Now, I'm going to pull my shoulder back and I'm going to turn and look, but at the same time, I'm going to press against this leg. So I've got a little more of a stretch as I twist. Let's release. Undo your legs, and then we're going to cross the other way. This hand is on the outside of that knee. Other hand is back on the chair behind you. Lengthen through the spine. Pull that shoulder back. Turn and look. And if you want to press gently with your hand against the leg, you might feel a little more twist, only if it feels okay for you. And release. Let's go ahead and undo our legs. Sit back in your chair. You can lean back if you wish. Place your hands on your thighs. Flip your palms up towards the ceiling. Close your eyes or soften your eyes and breathe.
It's an opportunity. The obstacle you encounter is not just something that gets in your way, it's an opportunity. The beauty you see is not merely there to be admired, it represents an opportunity. This is not just another hour, another trip, another situation. It's an opportunity to live with purpose, with effectiveness, with joy, gratitude, and love. Whatever form it takes, see the opportunity. Take the opportunity to act, to speak, to learn, to improve, to understand. Appreciate the opportunities, and they return the favor. The more opportunities you make good use of, the more and better opportunities there will be. Whatever place you go, whatever thing you see, whatever is going on, it's an opportunity. Make it your business to make good and lasting value from it.
Let's take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Go ahead and open your eyes. Drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Drop your chin towards your chest. Drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. And drop your chin towards your chest. Go ahead and look to the front of the room. Bring your hands to your heart. Honoring one another, we say, Namaste. Thank you so much for joining today. I really appreciate it. Give me a comment. I would love to hear from you. And I will see you next time.